that moment that you were like, like I know when I was like, oh, I think I need to do theater and I have a mission,
So, I as I said, I studied architecture and I worked for architects for 10 years, full time, as I was doing musicals and plays on my personal time, for my own enjoyment. And I was doing that, and I remember one year, I think there was one year that I actually did 11 shows.
And did your architecture
And did
job.
my jobs. Yeah, I did theater. I did theater and then worked. And so I was like, okay, this is sort of a problem.
Yeah.
I'm being drawn. I'm doing this. It's calling me. It's my passion. And I finally, I just remember having a chat with my dad one day, and I wasn't a kid, but I was like, wow, I went to school for years to be an architect, and I said, I'm not happy enough there. And I said, I got an offer to do a tour, and I would have to quit my job. And he said, well, he just looked at me, he said, well, sure, get off the pot.
That's right. If it's what you want, do it, pal.
He's like, it's your choice, but do what you feel is yours. So
it's great.
Yeah.
You had both your parents are very
Oh yeah, they're very
the
supportive.
dreams of their boys.
My mom, I'm her she's my best fan. You know what I mean? She's always been there, all the time. Even to the past years, as much as if I can get her to something, she'll come see it.
Right.
As hard as it was later in life for her to get anywhere. So.
Right. And now she's like checking it out from above.
Yeah, so. she's got front row seats.
She's got front row seats now for sure. So I wanted to ask, you do a great deal of musical theater.
Yeah.
Do you feel and you started off with your friend because you had a great voice. Do you think that that's the way you initially started to get the work, and then that your acting or did you feel like things were like matched up all the time, if you know what I mean? Like, did you feel more comfortable in musical theater first, and then because you've done some really terrific roles in. I don't like you. We also used to say straight play. I don't like to say it, but a drama, comedy, music, a non-musical. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I definitely enjoy comedies, dramas. Have always been the most challenging.
For you.
For me, and brought me to new levels.
And this summer, like this past summer in 2017, you did.
Come Light My Cigarette.
Yeah, that
off
was
Broadway.
Yeah, I got to see that, and that was like a real kind of shift of it, like a character you never, like kind of like
it's one of the ugliest characters I've ever played, ever. And that was it. It took me to a different place. I had to go somewhere that wasn't comfortable.
Right. And that play was very challenging too, I thought, from an actor standpoint, because the beginning of the show, it's you for like 15 or 20 minutes just doing phone conversations and talking, and you just had it totally like, on. It was great.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of work that's like a gift. When you're able to challenge yourself and learn from it.
Right. And is there since it's a little harder, my question is, acting's acting, those who sing with their acting, but is the prepping different when you do a musical, like in your head and how you prepare or how you go toward it, based on, I mean, I did musicals too, but I've done more straight plays, but I just wondered for you, since you work a lot, and sometimes it flips back and forth. You might be doing a musical, then you go do on Golden Pond, or
Right.
So, is there a different mindset, or is it the same head the whole time?
It's interesting. I think that musically, musicals, it musically comes to me. It sits in my head more naturally. I learn things quicker with music. I find that learning lines. Just straight up lines is more of a repetition. I have to just keep going over it. It's a different mindset. So yeah, it's definitely different. It's I like I said, I think that I've come to see that the straight plays tend to be a little more of a challenge, but once you got it, you got it.
Right.
And it's there. So
Yeah, and you